First of all, we would like to say thank you for watching all of our shows.
And in true Gonzaga fashion, we want to share with you exactly how this experience transformed our students. So for the very last episode, here are the reflections of the students on the Turkish Zag Travel Show.
Charlie, how about you? As a Montana boy, what do you think about Turkey?
Well, I don't know, my biggest takeaway from this trip was the Turkish people. You go and meet a Turkish person and they'll say welcome to Turkey, they'll say hoş geldiniz, hoş bulduk, and
which means that you brought pleasure and we found pleasure.
Yeah.
So your presence brought us pleasure.
Exactly. You bring something to Turkey more than you don't go to Turkey just for Turkey. You go
You are not
for
taking
yourself
something, you are bringing, and that's
Exactly.
pleasure. Your presence brought us pleasure, and they have been interested in your journey or in you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. That's what I loved about Turkey.
So over the course of this trip, I've taken a fair amount of pictures, and and the ones that I keep going back to, I mean, the sights are all amazing and the gorgeous views are undescribable, but the ones I keep going back to are the ones with all my new friends and my new family in them. And when we were at Mother Mary's house and Father Cooter was saying Mass, he talked about how we should all remember that we are all blessings to one another. And I really feel that that message has been cemented because all these people on this trip have just kind of become my new family, and Aiden included, and Dr. Goldman, Father Cooter. So that's really what I pull away from this trip.
It's nice to reflect on how we feel physically, because I mean, to be honest, I'm a little exhausted right now. And
all of us.
I think we kind of speak for the group that everyone's pretty tired right now. And I feel like Turkey kind of does that to you in a way. One, because of the heat. Two, because of the distance we traveled. And three, also because of the time that we traveled.
Well, we were rushing in 30 days for 10,000 years. So we covered 10,000 years in 30 days. What do you expect? Of course you'll be tired. I'm tired too.
I think though the thing that I always think of when I think of our trip in general is really that no matter how exhausted we are and no matter how often we're like, oh, look, another theater, it's always worth getting off the bus again. Because there's always, even if it's just a little thing, there's always something that you take away from each site. And especially one of my favorite pictures that we've taken is at Pergamum. There were like, I don't know, like 6, 7 columns or something, and we're like popping out behind them and taking pictures. And every time I think of that picture, I look at it probably like every day. I think of our enthusiasm and the fun that we had here.
One of the biggest takeaways I've taken away from this is Aiden. I've gone around with him, but he's just so warm, loving, accepting, and patient, enduring.
Not all the time.
No, but most of the time. Let's go on our runs together, good time to reflect with him, and just kind of experience who he is. And I kind of look up to Aiden in many ways, and I feel he's a great example of what the country of Turkey is, and just of how nice people can be all over the world and in America, everybody. I think he's just a perfect example of what a person should be.
But don't forget, I've got a Zag twist.
He's got a little bit of a Zag twist, a little bit.
Thank you very much for bringing Gonzaga experience to Turkey and also feeding me with your intellect, with your curiosity. Each time I look at my country, my culture, my spirituality through the lenses of my visitors and my guests. So I renew myself. So each tour is a kind of like Asklepios experience, like going and shedding the skin and coming up new. So you renewed me in this 1 month, and then when you go a couple days later, I will reflect back and I'll be a new Aiden, and I hope that all of you will be renewed in your own terms.
Aiden!